Hi guys, this is Mr. Tan, and today we're doing e-business and e-marketing or digital marketing, and we're going to cover the digital business infrastructure, the key management issues and typical problems. And the learning outcomes are twofold. Firstly, to outline the range of hardware and software technologies used to build a digital business infrastructure within an organization and its partners, and to review the management actions needed to maintain service quality for users for or of digital platforms. So the digital business infrastructure, the architecture of hardware, software, content and data used to deliver e-business services to employees, customers and partners. And the infrastructure is very, very important. It's not just about having a website, it's about having the software, the data and the processes in place for your services, your employees, but also having the customer relationship management systems in place to capture your customers and to be able to use that data in a way to develop the customer relationship management. So desktop, laptop, and notebook platforms, desktop browser based platforms. This is a traditional web access through the consumer's browser of choice, whether Internet Explorer, Google Chrome or Safari. Desktop apps. We don't see this platform talked about much, but with the launch of Apple Lion, and many Apple users are accessing paid and free apps from the desktop too via the Apple App Store. This gives opportunity for brands to engage via these platforms. And then you have email platforms. Whilst email is traditionally considered as a platform, it does offer a separate option from browser and app-based options to communicate with prospects or clients, whether through editorial or advertising, and email is still widely used for marketing. So you've got feed-based and API data exchange platforms. Many users, still consume data through RSS feeds, and Twitter and Facebook status updates can be considered a form of feed or stream where ads can be inserted. And then you have video marketing platforms. Streamed videos is often delivered through the other platforms mentioned above, particularly through browsers and plugins. But it represents a separate platform. Television channel delivered through streaming over the internet, known as IPTV, are related to this platform. So there are different platforms which can be plugged in to your websites to target and to offer additional kind of services and features of your site. Kampas 2000 describes an alternative 5-level infrastructure model, or what he refers to as the information system function chain. So Kampas was talking about the storage, the physical, memory and disk hardware components, the processing, the computation and logic provided by the processor, the infrastructure. This means the human and external interfaces, and also the network referred to as the extra structure. Application content. This is the data processed by the application into information, and the intelligence, additional computer-based logic that transforms information to knowledge. So we're talking about all your hard drive and the organization of your hard drive. We're talking about software systems that are used to interface with your organizational structure to allow you to capture information, to allow you to process your staff, to allow you to do everything that you need to do. And also, do you have the right memory? Do you have the right disk hardware components? In terms of processing, do you have the right processors involved there? Infrastructure. This means again the human extent and interfaces. So again, we need to look at all of these things in terms of how your inputs transform in terms of your processes and your operations to complete the goods and services. So a short introduction to internet technology. Client server. The client server architect consists of client computers such as PCs, sharing resources such as database stores on most powerful server computers. So the PCs won't have all the server computers. Server computers will be interlinked to all the PCs, and then the PCs will be able to access the different drives on the servers. Requests for information are transmitted from client computers and mobile devices, whose users request services from server computers that hold information and host business applications that services in response to request. Thus, Internet is a large-scale client-server system. If you think about it, transferring and having information stored at different places, and then providing that information to the customer when it's required. Internet service provider, ISP. This is a provider providing home or business users with a connection to access the internet. They can also host web-based applications. And backbones. These are high-speed communication links, used to enable internet communications across a country and internationally. So, management issues in creating new customer-facing digital service. So, here we need to, consider some of the issues that managers introducing new services need to be aware of, including the domain name selection. Can you get the domain name that you actually want, or is it already taken? Selection of host services, including cloud providers. And there's going to be a cost as well, depending upon which services you use. Selection of additional SaaS, software as a service platforms. So these need to be considered, and how you're going to integrate it into your business as well, and then to provide all the additional services in terms of staff training and to ensure that people can actually access this. So domain name selection. So companies typically have many digital services located on different domains, particularly for companies with different domains for different countries. The domain name refers to the address of the web server and is usually selected to the same name of the company, and the extension will indicate its type. The extension is commonly known as a generic top level domain, GTLD. Common GTLDs include .coms, .orgs, .mobile, .net, .co.uk, .au, cadees.ac.uk for universities, .org.uk, and so on and so forth. So, Universal Resource Locator, URL. A web address used to locate web page on a web server. The technical name for web address is uniform or universal resource locator, universal resource locator, URL. URLs can be thought as a standard method of addressing, similar to postcodes or zip codes that make it straightforward to find the name of a domain or a document on the domain name. So in larger businesses, particularly those with many sites, it's important to develop a URL strategy so that there is a consistent way of labeling online services and resources. So then, domain name registration, the process of reserving a unique web address that can be used to refer to the company website. Most companies own several domains for different product lines or countries or specific marketing campaigns. Managers or agencies responsible for websites need to check that domain names are automatically renewed by the hosting company, as most are today. For example, the .co.uk domain must be renewed every 2 years. Companies that don't manage this process potentially risk losing the domain name, since another company could potentially register it if the domain name has lapsed. But normally this shouldn't be the case, because if you are buying a domain name, then there are various safety measures when you're buying the domain name, which allows you to automatically renew, and then the money is taken out from your credit card. Even if your credit card elapses, then they can send you out an email saying that the payment method needs to be sorted out. So this can be done automatically just by the click of a button. So discussion on typical problems. Website communications can be too slow. the site is not viewable on the mobile. Again, when you develop your website, again, you need to think about how it is also viewed on a mobile platform as well. But now, when you're designing websites, you kind of design the website and the mobile in tandem. You can design them both at the same time and check that what is being displayed on the desktop will be seen in a different format in the mobile application. Website not available. Again, the name settings, account settings, or linkages, breakages could be a reason why the website is not available. Bugs on the site through pages being unavailable or information typed in forms not being executed. Again, that could be problems with your coding or refreshing of pages or not being or unsuitable links. Ordered products not delivered on time. Again, you have a delivery time, and if it's not delivered on time, then that is a potential problem. But then you need to communicate with the customer to ensure that they know what's happening if you can't communicate on time. Emails not replied to. Yeah, as a good customer service, good practice, you should reply to emails within a certain period of time. Ideally within 48 hours, if not 24 hours. And customers' privacy or trust is broken through security problems such as credit cards being stolen or addresses sold to other companies. Again, ensuring that you have the right security in place is extremely important, or it could cause a demise of your business. So, key management issues of digital business infrastructure. Some of these key, or the main issues include which digital access platforms should we support? In terms of the detail, mobile platforms such as tablets and smartphones are rapidly increasing in importance. So the right investment decisions need to be taken. Where covered, we introduced the key types of consumer access platforms and data exchange options, and the opportunities of mobile marketing and start of the chapter. So again, main issue is setup and selection of services for a new digital service. Many managers are involved in managing the introduction of a new service, where they have to select a platform, suppliers and models of access and data storage. A selection, on setup of customer-facing digital services addresses these management decisions, including domain selection, use of hosting providers, and cloud services. And other main issues include how do we achieve quality of service in digital services. The detail in terms of the requirements are business fit, security, speed, availability, and other levels of errors. Where is it covered? Section ISPs. Chapter 11, Chapter 12 on implementation, and other key issues are where do we host these applications, and again a detail internal and external sourcing and hosting via the web services. So we have here a 5-layer model of digital business infrastructure. So the 5-layer model of digital business infrastructure includes the CRM, the customer relationship management, supply chain management, data mining, content management systems. This is important to how you process all the information coming in from your suppliers, from your customers, how you're going to utilize this information, how you're going to capitalize on it. And this needs to be built into your organizational structure and your processes and your systems and software. System software layer, web browser and server software, and standards, networking software, and database management systems. Important. Phase 3, transport or network layer, physical network and transport standards. Okay, in the TCP IP. And then we got the storage and physical layer. Here we're talking about permanent, magnetic storage on web service, or optical, backup or temporary storage in memory, RAM. And the 5th layer being content and data layer, web content for internet extent, and internet sites, customer data transaction and data, clickstream data. So here we have different use of applications at different levels of management for companies. So at the top we've got the strategic management, And then the middle managers, we have the tactical manager, and then on the lower end we've got the operational management. So and then going across the gradient, we've got enterprise resources planning applications. Again, knowledge management software, and data warehousing and data mining that various management at different levels should understand. Elements of digital business infrastructure that require management. So, management issues in terms of client applications, service quality, of client applications, in terms of applications integration with partners and intermediaries. We're talking about external application hosting, integration with partner systems, and quality of extra internet connections through ISPs. Okay, and even when we're thinking about application development, application server, web server, data management, legacy applications and data, and corporate database server, management issues can include a wide range, including what platforms for applications development, content management and database management. Very, very important how to manage your database. Quality of service applications, service performance and availability and interfaces. And the integration of digital business and legacy systems, as well as the control applications to monitor service levels and the quality of staff access to internet and intranet services. So again, these are some of the management issues of those different elements. So we have an activity here: overcoming limited use of intranets and extranets in a business-to-business company. But we're not going to look at this one. We're going to move on. So thank you today from Mr. Tan. And just to recap what we've covered, we've looked at digital business infrastructure, the key management issues and typical problems that you could be faced with. And the infrastructure is absolutely key to running a successful business, in terms of your database, in terms of your interfaces, in terms of how you're going to store the information, where you're going to store your website, if it's going to be on cloud, how big is your website, how much data and memory does it need, are you going to do it in-house, are you going to use servers, how exactly are you going to execute this. So again, these are strategic decisions that need to be taken from top level management level. So thank you today from Mr. Tan.